How's it going, everybody? Here I'm going to be doing a in-depth, a little bit of a lengthy video of the RL drums, Octobans. I've been looking for a set of these for a very long time. I stumbled across RL drums, so this will be a little bit lengthy of a video. I do have pros, I do have cons, and also at the end, would I buy again from this company? So anyways, before I go to the Octobans, let me show you how they're boxed. And do pay attention. This does fall into one of my cons, and this is a pretty big one, but this will be more towards the end. But do pay attention to how these are packed. So when you buy your Octobans, depending on how many you get, they will come in these square boxes. The Octobans will be wrapped in bubble wrap, and then a long tube. On top of all that, it will have cardboard up the wazoo, making sure they're absolutely well packaged. Very nice. These are the boxes for the Octobans came in. If you end up getting the stand mount like I did, which is for my particular style, I end up getting the 4 mount. But other than that, that's how they come boxed. Nothing special. I wanted to save these boxes so you can see them. So along with how they're boxed. I did ask him for some goodies, being that I kind of bought all of a full entire set. He ended up giving me 2 very nice cleaning cloths. And before anyone says, hey, they're on the carpet, I vacuumed my carpet to make sure I'm very anal. So that way, these things don't pick up absolutely anything. So they are nice. On a side note, they do have 2 little clips. Gives you some nice RL drum stickers. And keychain drumsticks, which is pretty cool. And he also he gave me quite a bit of them, a nice RL drums t-shirt. So there you go. Going to the Octobans. I have been looking for a set of Octobans for a very long time. And of course there's companies out there. I was only going to originally buy 4 of them, but when I seen RL drums and how he makes a very good choice of colors, I end up going between red to match my kit, which is a Tama Superstar in copper mist metallic. The 2 bass drums, 12, 13, 16, and 18, all with Evans heads across the boards except the bass drums. Those are Aquarian Super Kick 2s. But that's kind of not the video, but this is my particular kit. I do play a good variety of metal, but I grew up with my dad playing classic music and all that other good stuff. But anyways, enough of the boring stuff. Here's the Octobans. So when you get them, for my particular application, I end up getting the style that mounts onto the stands. So, and since we're on it, the stands, I did order 3 of the Tama style mounting stands. And when they're Tama, here I'll give you a very good comparison. Here's a Tama stand right here, directly next to it, to give you a very good comparison. So side by side, this one here is the Tama stand. This one is the RL Drums Tama style stand. As you see, they're very similar. When you do go in, you can kind of start to see this is the Tama. You do have the plastic rubber bushing in between them, so when this thing's moving up, it's nice and smooth. The RL Drums does not. Also, when you're going to the mounting feet, you do have on the RL Drums Tama style these plastic washers. Tama, you do, but they're very much smaller. These seem a little bit more wider spread. And then going kind of up, you do have very similar. The Tama is a little bit easier to move up and down. This is the Tama. When you loosen it up, it's much more smoother. This one, it's smooth. Sometimes it seems it could be a little bit rough, so kind of make sure you have 2 hands on it, especially if you got all your drums on it. But other than that, kind of going up to the top, you do have your swivel style, so you can mount these things straight up, almost straight horizontally. You do have a bunch of options. So that's the stand. comparing them to tama, to RL Drums tama style. And going over here to the other side of the stand, nice and chrome. You do have your bolts, nuts to nut everything together. It is a 1/2 inch nut. Now, before I start going into the Octobans, since I'm on the stands, when I ordered them, I did get them all. If you're a little anal on keeping stuff clean, and I apologize for my language, this is a complete video. But other than that, I can tell when you buy a new tama stand in the box, there's 0 fingerprints, 0 smudges. It's nice, looks like it just came out of the chrome factory. These, however, all 3 of them, I had to go over them, I had to clean them. There was kind of an oily substance on them. And when I mean oily substance, I don't mean by much, I mean very, very little. Not a make or break deal. I had to clean them, just kind of throwing that out there. But other than that, I think they're a very nice stand for the Octobans. I would 100% buy it again. So now, going to the Octobans, I did buy every one of them from the 6 all the way down to the 28. They are very, very nice. I absolutely love them. I've been playing with all of these now for about a little over a month. I just got these 4 in the other day. So these I've been playing with for a straight month. They do come with remo UC heads, which are one of my cons. These heads are basically very bottom of the barrel. They do have remo stamped on them. They are remo heads in every way, shape, or form, but I can absolutely not keep these things in tune to save my life. I can fully tune them, and how I tune them for a very long time now is this old school torque dial. I have all my numbers saved, and before anybody says anything, hey, look, I do them by ear, or I use a tune bot. Yeah, I've been using using this for a very, very long time now. I kind of know how to use it for my personal taste, and it simply just goes off numbers for torque. So that being said, I can tune all these. My play around number at the very, very moment has been 13 on the torque. I can play these whether I play them light, whether I play them heavy, medium, good all around. But by the end of the time I'm done playing, they'll be 100% out of tune. Even also if I tune these, because the first couple days when I got these with the UC heads, I set everything up, I tuned them, I walked away, and the next day I come back, they're completely out of tune. Yes, new heads, you're 100% going to get that to begin with. They got to stretch, but I did it for a month straight. Like I said, I also played with them a couple times, but other than that, I mean, and then at that point I started looking into Remo UC. I never heard of them other than Remo. So I started looking into it and kind of found that they're a very bottom of the barrel generic head, that when you buy something, that's what they simply put on it. It's nothing special. They're made out of China. So me personally, I absolutely do not like these UC heads. And just for absolute giggles, like I said, I run Evans. I took one of my 6-inch Evan EC2 heads on it. I slapped it on there for 2 days on this drum and didn't come out of tune. I played it very heavily. I played it very light, just to kind of get a feel of, hey, is it the drum where the head's just not sitting on there right, or is it just simply all in all the head? And I left it on there played it, did not come out of tune whatsoever. So in my future, I will be 100% swapping every one of these UC heads out. If you're just starting out, they're absolutely great to start out, but me personally, I do not like them. After my experience with them, I'm going to be swapping them out to something else. So that's the head. Other than that, all of the rings are very nice. And then, like I said, going to the drums, They come in all sizes, with their RL drums being their famous 6-inch one, and then it just simply goes in 2-inch increments all the way to 28. Other than that, there's a, see how you can see this on the camera, the nice little bearing edge that's in there. All the inside hardware is simply black washers and Phillips through all the drums. You do have your nice RL Drums logo on there in red, and I think that absolutely makes it. Nice style of chrome lugs. Now going to some of the other cons. The pros I kind of just been thrown in there. But anyways, I am kind of a picky person, not a picky person, but I feel like you should know this. I have not tried to clean these drums in every way, shape, or form. When I am not playing, my drums get wrapped in this very, very light bed sheet just to kind of keep all the dust and dirt off it as much as possible. Now, this kind of goes back into, if you remember me talking about how these were very nicely wrapped in the box, I think they might be wrapped a little too well. Because if you look at the drums, see all those little swirls and scratches, and I mean, from the distance you can't tell, but kind of looking at them, you get the light bouncing off, you have all these little swirls. And I have noticed this right out of the box when I got these. Some drums have them, some drums don't. I mean, see if I can skip to another one here. Some of them very, very little that are, the camera is really not picking up. I mean, you can kind of see it off some of the reflections. And some drums have them like that, and some drums absolutely don't. Like my two bottom ones don't have it. Those are very, very lightly. These kind of all around. Some have them, some don't. And another thing, going to my, which one is it? This one here. You can kind of see kind of like a cut. Here we go. See if I can get my hand in there. All right, there you go. So that is not a full crack. It goes up maybe 1/4 of an inch, and then it kind of just goes halfway through. But at the end of the day, these are acrylic shells, so how they get cut. I'm a car audio dealer, and I build boxes and stuff like that. I know how hard it is to cut acrylic, but I mean, if you're paying for something, I mean, it should be almost perfect. So that kind of goes into how well these are 100% packed. I feel like they're packed very, very, very good. But I mean, they are getting shipped, and they're going to go through whatever carrier service to get to your home to purchase them. But I mean, that could be something they could look into, or I mean, maybe it's even just the quality of the acrylic shells when RL Drums gets them. But so that is, and like I said, I am not sponsored in any way or paid with RL Drums. This is my video. I bought all these with my own personal money. So that is one of the absolute biggest cons I have with these RL Drums Octobans. Now, granted, if you had a different color, it may not show them as well. But I mean, like I said, this goes through all the drums all the way down. If you're a very, very picky person, that could make or break you. But if you're not, for the price that these are, I would 100% recommend them. Would I buy them again? Absolutely. I've like I said, I've been playing with these for about a month. These two rows in particular, I love them to death. I almost bought the pink bubblegum ones, but at the end of the day, as you see, my drums are kind of copper mist metallic, so they fit mighty, mighty well. I am doing this from my Samsung cell phone, so I'm going to kind of hit them all real quick for you. If you go to RL Drums, he also has them all lined up and he runs through them with the camera back. And then here we go. So this is going to be the 6 all the way down to the 28. So there you go. All the RL Drums, Octobans, 6-inch, all the way down to 28. So there you go. So that is my review video of the RL Drums Octobans. Very nice purchase, very decently priced. I think they look absolutely phenomenal. They do have their pros, they do have their cons, kind of like I went through all of them in the video. When you buy these, you can buy them in either this mount, which mounts 4 on simply one stand, and this stand would be the Tama style stand, or you can get them in the traditional how your toms are mounted on a tom stand, and you can do them all in a row, or even all in a row and then just do all in a row below it. My application, I went with the Tama style stand, as you see. But other than that, that's my review video. I hope you guys stayed along for the whole thing and enjoyed. I do recommend them, especially for the price. Like I said, I was going to get a set of 4, and I was looking at anywhere from $400 to $800. I know there's other brands out there that make Octobans as of acrylic Octobans. It's kind of very, very slim. I do see some of the brands out there that have maple ones, wood ones. The maple sound very, very nice. But at the end of the day, I wanted acrylic. That's what I went with. And especially with all the variety of stands and sizes and colors. The sizes was a big turn on for me. And that's why I went with RL Drums. So thank you very much. This is RL Drums review video of the red Tama style Octobans. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just kind of a far shot. Every size from 6 all the way to 28. And then just before I leave, when I was hitting them all for the sound check, they are bouncing off a wall with foam. Kind of help make the sound a little bit decent for my basement. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. How's it going, everybody? I wanted to add to the end of the video when I was rambling about one of my cons with the Remo UC heads that's on there. I did, like I mentioned, I put one of my Evans on. I did put the Evans, kind of hard to see, the EC2. I'm an Evans person. I always have been. I played around with some Remos before, and it's just not my personal taste. Everybody's different. Everybody has their personal taste. But other than that, I did put that head on the 14-inch Octoban and played around with it. I played it a lot. I let it sit. It would not go out of tune when I was using my drum dial, and I never had issues with it. So me personally, like I said, everybody's different. There's the Remo guys, the Evans guys, whatever your personal preference is. When I had that head on there, it sounded for me with the Evans head. I did do a recording on my phone, but I'm not going to put it on here because it's too similar. But personal, listening to it in my ears, it did have a little bit more attack and less ring to it with the Evans, but it was kind of a very, very well balanced mixed. But other than that, that was my test, so I'm going to be swapping all those out probably for Evans versus the Remo UCs. And like I said, they're just a very cheap head, because even my very, very first time go around with the heads, I'm going to switch the camera. It started putting dents in it, and the very first time around playing them, I never had a set of Octobans before, you know, so I'm playing around. I'm moving my seat. I'm playing around, trying to find different grooves to come in. But but regardless, the Evans UCs are a very basic head. So I mean that's kind of what to expect from a basic head. I think it would be very phenomenal if the company offered right from when the consumer would, like me, would go to pick my Octobans out, and maybe have a drop down of maybe even a small selective few of heads, the better heads. I mean, I would have paid the money right then and there to say, hey, look, put these heads on. I know from just kind of talking from a business aspect, that's kind of, now you got to take them out of the box, you got to put them in new heads. Or hell, even throw the heads just in the box and let the customer deal with it. I think that I would pay the extra buck just to do that, so I don't have to go out and buy heads and that whole nonsense. I think that would be phenomenal. Or even charge a little bit more and put better heads on there. But that's just my personal rambling about it. And then, like I said in the video, I am not sponsored, paid by RL Drums. I bought all these with my own money. So this is my personal review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's my lengthy video. Have a good one, guys.